Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we are taking a look at the QSP Gannet. This is going to be one of the last reviews under $100 I'll be doing for the next week and a half or so. I've got some really nice premium knives that one of them I bought. A good amount of them were sent to me by amazing viewers, so we're gonna have kind of a premium week upcoming. But right now we're taking a look at this guy, and it is under $100. We'll get to the price here in just a second. Before I get into the specs here, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you like what you see, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now let's take a look at some specifications on this knife. We have an overall length of 7.875 inches with a blade length of 3.375 inches, a length that I personally absolutely love. I'm always talking with one of my Instagram buddies, Lavender Pants 86, I believe. We're always saying how there's not enough 3.3 inch knives, and this is right there, and I love that. I really love that about this knife. A blade width of 0.85 inches with a cutting edge of 3.375 inches as well. A blade thickness of 0.11 with a blade steel being 154 cm. It's an oldie, but it's still a goodie. Very, very comparable steel with a nice drop point blade style with a very nice full flat grind that we're going to touch on here in a bit because it's a wowzer. We have a handle length of 4.5 inches with a handle thickness of 0.53 inches with a handle width coming in at just under an inch at about 0.91 inches, and a handle material that's pretty unique, rather interesting. We have a carbon fiber bolster play. I guess you wouldn't call it a true bolster because it's not actually part of the, I mean, it's part of the handle, but it's not all part of there's liners. So I don't know the proper term for that, but I don't really consider this a bolster. It's more of a bolstery look. Carbon fiber here, and I'm going to go with burlap micarta here. They had it listed as linen, but I think it's burlap. There was other models with linen carbon fiber. I'm going to call this one burlap. We have a user of tip-up right hand only carry, so sorry for you lefties. You can't reverse this one. That's unfortunate too. We have a weight of 3.5 ounces. This is an in-house QSP design to the best of my knowledge from what I could find. And we have a price of $82.50. So honestly, I think for the uniqueness of this overall package and presentation, I don't think $82.50 is that bad at all. Let's do some size comparisons and compare it to some comparable models. We have the Benchmade 940. And we have the Benchmade regular size Griptilian, which is, I believe, the 3.5 inch blade or 3.4, something like that. Obviously, the Griptilian is considerably bigger in overall girth and size, but pretty good comparison with the 940. If you like the 940, the ergos on that, you're definitely going to like this Gannet. And we got a couple more here. Put these guys away. This 940 is so smooth. And let's go with the TRM Atom, as well as the Spyderco Smock. Another one, the Smock handles are kind of like it in overall, width and length. Somewhat of a decent comparison there. I think the 940 is a little better. It's actually right in between the 940 and the Smock, to be totally honest. And last, but certainly not least, we're going to compare it to a couple of my favorite front flippers. We have the Booz Blade Smoke, and we also have the best Boker knife ever made, the Boker Excalibur. So as you can see, we got a pretty good look there at some overall lengths and whatnot. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about this knife, because I was nervous about getting this one. I've been trying to save a little money on my knife purchases with a lot of awesome life events I have coming up, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to spend $82.50 on a QSP knife. I've had good and bad experiences with QSP. Gonna get that out there, but this one is definitely on the good side. This blade here, definitely my favorite QSP blade design to date. It's It's nothing special. Very simple, classy drop point blade. Very nice, full flat grind that comes to an edge of, and I'm telling you guys, when I measured this edge, I had to turn my calipers off, do the whole zero out thing, and try it again because I didn't believe it. And I still find it hard to believe, but it does perform like it. 14 thousandths behind this edge. So I wish I could somehow maybe, yeah, it's too hard to show, but 14 thousandths behind the edge is extremely impressive. For really, I mean, a lot of knives, there's not many knives that come down to 14 thousandths behind the edge of just, regular production knives, especially, under the $100 mark. That's the Civivi market right there, but QSP executed this one very well. It also has a beautiful hand-rubbed looking finish on it. If you can see, the lines are going horizontal and not vertical as the grind would usually indicate. But I'm obviously calling it looking, and the camera doesn't really do this justice. It looks, there you go. There you can see it more. It looks hand-rubbed. Obviously, there's no way this is really hand-rubbed for the price. That would take way too much time. So they did a very good job of imitating that. And I don't have a problem with that because it looks damn good. And you know what? It stands out from other knives. So they did a good job of diversifying there and getting a little more unique. And lastly, I really like the minimal blade branding, something I call out a lot. All you have here is the QSP logo, which is fine. It's not too big or too small or anything, in my opinion. It is totally fine right there. And you just have your blade marking on the back here, which I think is also fine. Looks very, very clean presentation. QSP really knocked this one out of the park as far as the clean, simple presentation, especially with the blade. Now, one other important thing to mention on this QSP, because this is where I've had my issues with QSP in the past. This blade happens to be pretty much perfectly centered. It may be slightly off to the show side, but even as much of a nitpicker as I am, I'm okay with that. It's pretty damn close. I have had issues with QSP knives in the past of a little stronger detent, but I've had issues in the past with blade centering and also very, very slight blade play. This one is completely locked up, has a very nice lockup with the liner lock. This is what again, I am no knife maker. I don't know that art any means whatsoever at all, but I like this. This is, to me, a very good lockup on a liner lock. Very secure, and so there's no blade play, and the blade is centered very, very well. So props to QSP there. That's what I was mostly nervous about. The second thing that I was pretty nervous about was this handle here, because when I looked at this, I wasn't sure if I liked what they were trying to do here, and there are pros and cons with the handles and ergos of this knife. The ergos are pretty good. They're not great, but they're better than good. So I do like the ergos a lot. It's a nice combination of thickness and width and length. It's perfect for me. It fits my hand very, very well. Not like a glove, but I do like it. As for the micarta, so the materials in general, carbon fiber and micarta is a perfect combination. I would take that on just about any knife. And I don't mind the bolster up here. I kind of like what they did with the bolster. I don't know if I like the red. I think I would rather it just be black. They got kind of crazy with their options. The only regular black carbon fiber I could find had some green linen micarta, which I thought was awesome, but that one was sold out. It was the first one to go. Other knife nuts have very good taste in knives, I can say, because that was the first one to go, and I didn't get one. So this was my second option, and it's... So, like I said, the carbon fiber is good. I don't mind the red. I wish it was black. But down here, it's kind of it's pretty wonky what they're doing here. The kind of the finished result you get with the actual grain of the micarta. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. We'll see how it patinas, how it wears in. If it patinas well enough to where you're not so distracted by some of these portions here, it may not be that big of a deal. Like I said, it's I think overall the package is still decent, but when I just go look straight at the micarta is where I'm kind of like, ooh, I don't know about it. The jury's still out as to whether or not I'm okay with it. Right now, I wish it had a better appearance of the grain. You know, regular burlap micarta, you guys know what it looks like. It looks amazing. This does not look like that. So I don't have a huge positive thing to say about this section right here. But one thing I will say about this section is they do a very good job of contouring that you can't really see so much on the video, because if you look, there's actually, it's thicker here and it slims down a little here and it thickens up just a little there. And there's contouring along the sides. So they put a lot of effort into actually contouring this knife, and I personally do feel it. I feel the thinner part right here, and I feel the very slight swell right here towards the middle of the handle when I go to hold it in hand. It does work. So I do like that. They put a good amount of effort into doing their best to contour this handle to fit the user's hand. I do appreciate that a whole lot. And another thing that I really appreciate, that I was really blown away by, because we're talking Riot, some of the top manufacturers' quality finishes here with this transition line from the carbon fiber to the micarta. You don't feel it at all. At first, I thought it was somehow like one piece of material cut, and it's, you know, but it's not. It's got to be two different pieces, and the transition is, you don't feel it at all. I mean, it is smoother than a baby's butt. It is so smooth. It really blew me away. I couldn't believe that. That was the first thing I did when I opened this knife after I messed around with the action, was I felt that transition line, and it is incredibly fine. You don't feel it at all. I really can't. I won't say that again, but you really can't. It's amazing. So huge props there. That's where a lot of places go wrong. I've had other knives from top manufacturers that are, you know, $200+ that don't do nearly as good of a job. So this was very, very impressive. I really like that a lot. And I also like the clip on this. Usually I don't like a satin clip, but since they have a nice satin finish on this blade, it matches, it goes well. I'm okay with it. It would look just as good if it was stonewashed, but since it's going with a satin blade, the time that I really don't like is when you have a stonewashed blade and a satin clip. No, don't like it. But this matches well enough to where I'm okay with it this time. Not something I want to see on every model, but it goes with the flow of the knife. So I do like that. And the action. This is another best of when it comes to QSP, because the Penguin was probably my favorite one in action before that, but this one's good. It's definitely the best QSP action I've experienced, and I don't need to tell you guys again how much I love front flippers, but I'm going to say this. This is one of the best actions for a front flipper that I've experienced on a knife under $100. It's right up there with the Civivi McKenna. What else is under $100? I'm kind of looking over here at in my knife box. The Civivi X-Arc. I personally really like the action on the X-Arc. But the McKenna is probably one of the best under $100, if not the best. This is right up there with it. This is very, very good. A lot of that has to do with this excellent jimping up here. Plenty enough tab to get your finger on. And what I really like what they did here, and not all people do this. One of the knives that I'm going to be reviewing this upcoming week has this flaw. But the jimping goes all the way around the tab, as it should, because when your finger goes on it, you know, you can't always, when there's just a minimal amount sticking up here, you can't get way behind it because you're hitting the actual handle of the knife. So you want to kind of get on top. And when you're on top, you're also still, even when you're on top, you're biting into that jimping with your thumb. And it just works great. It really does work great. You can do the index finger pull. It's just kind of hard. The detent's not strong on this, but it's a little stronger for a front flipper, and I've got no issue with that. I do like a stronger detent. Even on my front flippers, not as strong as a flipper or a thumb stud, but this is damn near perfect. I really do like this one a lot. The action is great. My overall thoughts on this is really, really good. As a matter of fact, it's easily by far the best QSP I've ever handled. I like this a lot. It's been one of the bigger surprises for me in recent months of reviewing any knife, and this one's good. I do wish this was just something else. I don't like the grain here, but that's really the only significant knock I have on it. Outside of that, this is a home run from QSP. I hope they make a lot more variants of this with different handle materials. Use a little better micarta. I personally would like to just see marbled carbon fiber. Now we'd be talking marbled carbon fiber with some of that denim micarta they have, or just regular, tan micarta, or, even black micarta and marbled carbon fiber. That would be absolutely sick. But they have a lot of options, and they have an absolute excellent knife to work with here. I really hope they take advantage of this, because I think this is going to be a very good seller for them. People, the front flipper craze is not going away, I don't think. I really don't think it is. A lot of people love front flippers. They got a really good one here, and I hope they give it the Civivi treatment with multiple variants and different handle options for this one, because it is a very, very, very good one. I got this one at White Mountain Knives. I am going to link White Mountain Knives in the description, because they've sent me some knives for review before, and I think they are a really good retailer to go through. I don't know if they're still in stock. Last I checked, they only had one model available, and it could be gone, but they'll probably be getting more in. And like I said, I hope QSP makes a lot more of these. With that being said, let me know what you guys think. Go check out White Mountain Knives. See if they have some in stock. It's going to be linked in the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, where we're going to start some premium reviews, take care.